What's going on there, race fans? It's Apex Predator here again, bringing you another sport mode race today. Now the plan was to bring you a nations race, but as you'll see now, this is what happened when I tried to capture it on my potato laptop. So well, I'm going to have to just stick with this daily. Luckily, the daily race was the same as that Nations. So the Nations race was like a 15-16 lap of Interlagos. It was a one-make using the 911 RSR. So I was only doing this daily, which is a Group 3 lap around Interlagos. Pretty much the same thing, just fewer laps. I was doing this as a warm-up for that. But obviously, having seen how my potato captured that race, we're going to just have to upload this one for you guys instead. And as you'll see in probably about 30 seconds time, that's not the only technical problem I had this race. My wheel disconnected, and luckily this game uses auto drive very well, so I didn't just sort of plough into someone asleep at the wheel or anything. But yeah, that happened. So I'm not sure. I really want to capture some more FIA races because I do better in those races. The format suits me a bit better. The longer race might not be too suitable for YouTube. My wheel's about to disconnect, by the way. Or is it through this? Yeah, after this. You'll see it all come on screen as well. So for a good sort of 10-15 seconds I was there trying to plug it back in. I don't know if it was cat related or the thing just fell out by itself, but yeah, one of them. Here you go, look. Thrustmaster racing wheel disconnected. What? So I was there like trying to hit continue, I plugged the thing back in and it still wasn't continuing. I was like, no. Just felt like an eternity. It's not that long when you're watching it back, but in the race it just felt like it was about 10 years. So here we go, back in control. Not quite at the back of the pack, but pretty much at the back of the pack. So you can see Furvarus is in this race. TRL Furvarus, that is, one of the fastest drivers in the game. Obviously on P1. So we can't compete at the front because I am an S rank, but I'm probably one of the slower S ranks. I'm new to the game though, so I'm going to upload, because there was another Blue Moon race. There was a Group 1 Blue Moon yesterday, and before that there was one in the Mustang Mark 1, so I've got some footage from both of those races that I might upload, because the reason I like that infield layout of Blue Moon is that I'm up to speed on that track. So I got that track at the same time as everybody else, whereas all the other tracks and the game, everyone's already got a massive head start on me, so I'm slowly getting there. And you can see in this video as well, I'm not using traction control. I wasn't using it in the Nations race either. So I'm slowly getting there, slowly getting comfortable with my setup. This is the first Gran Turismo since about GT4 where I have been using traction control. With GT5 and GT6 I wasn't using it at all. But I had the same set up for those games, so it wasn't as big of an adjustment for me. I remember when I moved to GT6 from GT5, initially it was a bit of a challenge, but after a couple of days you get used to it. But because I was trying to get used to a whole new wheel, a whole new setup, and playing in a different place and a different game, it was just all a bit too much. So I was using some assists like a week or so ago, but I'm dialing them back now. And as you can see, I'm not having too many issues in the race. There might be a couple of moments where I've not quite got my foot and my brain in sync with how much throttle input I need to. But the main problem I have is when I think I'm at like, I don't know, a quarter throttle or something, I look at the throttle bar and I'm actually at like 3/4, so I'm still out of sync with my setup and where I feel like my throttle is and where the game thinks my throttle is. So I just need to spend an afternoon maybe just banging in laps and I'll get there. But yeah, so for this race we're in the Porsche. It's quite an easy car to control, so I thought that'd be a good car for me to get accustomed to the no traction control. But my throttle control is quite good anyway. I'm just, like I say, I'm just when I think I'm at like, I don't know, a quarter to half throttle, I'm actually at like 3/4 throttle, but we're getting there. Got some penalty. I think there was a little bit of contact with that driver as he came past, so another sort of just rubbings racing penalty. I don't mind the penalties anymore though, because I kind of feel like, yeah, alright, I get your penalty, but I don't deserve, but so does everybody else. So as long as you're getting less than everybody else, it'll all kind of balance out in the end. They haven't really been affecting my racing. Like the first few days, they really did, but I think since then, I've not really felt like they've affected the outcome of any of my races. not as much as the wheel disconnecting, for example. But yeah, I'm going to try. Well, I've done a few FIA races that I've tried to capture for this channel, but none of them have worked. So I might need to do a hardware upgrade. We'll see. I'll keep trying. I've got a few other things I can try. I can try maybe downgrading the capture quality slightly, which might help. We'll figure something out. I've got a hard drive coming as well, so maybe that will help if it's writing to a hard drive rather than trying to write and capture to the same hard drive. I don't know. We'll figure something out. But I do want to get some of those races up because, like I say, I do better in those. I was first in that race for a bit, that Nations race. Alright, Favoros wasn't in it. I was expecting him to be in it, but some other fast guys were in it. I think we finished 4th in the end, 4th or 5th out of 20. Much better than this race. But yeah, I just don't have the pace for sprint races yet on this game. I tend to drive a bit more within the car, but we'll get there. So yeah, not too much happens this race. It's just a little race just to show. Well, it's just because I wanted to put up that Nations race, so I thought rather than put nothing up, I can put a bit of something up. The wheel disconnecting might be a bit of a laugh for some people, I don't know. You'll see had a little twitch there coming on the power. Control the car through here, there's a little bump there. Up inside of this guy. Something's all going off in front. Nearly lost it again there. Again, that's just my sort of instincts and my muscle memory for that right foot. It's just not quite in sync with where it needs to be yet, but it's only the last few races that I've been driving with it off, so I'll definitely get there. I'm quite happy with my pace considering. Bit deep on the brakes there, but we just about get away with it. Take a lot of curve here. No, we do have, is it 2 seconds or 3 seconds? It's really hard for me to see when I'm commentating. I can't make that out. 2 or 3 second penalty. We have a penalty to serve. So on the last lap, I don't want to get into too many battles because there's no point slowing somebody else up when I'm not going to be able to keep the position anyway. So bear that in mind. If you're racing and you've got a penalty, don't race someone too hard because you're not going to be able to keep the position. So you might end up giving them a penalty and it would have been for nothing anyway. Little things like that. And similarly as well, so say you are starting your in-lap and you see a car who you're not really racing for position come out of the pits on their out-lap. Don't race them too hard. You're not going to be getting a good in-lap. You're really compromising their out-lap. You're not in the race together anyway. You know you've got to come in the pits. It's little things like this that I think we can all sort of. Same with qualifying for the FIA races. If you're on an outlap on an FIA race and you know there's a car because you've seen him come down that straight as you come out the pits, who's just starting a hot lap, there's no reason at all why you should be fighting that car because you're not on a timed lap and they are. It's just little sort of racing courtesy or racing etiquette, I'd say. I think we can all do a bit better in that respect. So here we go. End of this race. Finished it in 6th, which is pretty good from where we started. Where did we start? Like 15th or something? I didn't do much, my wheel disconnected, so you can gain a lot of positions just staying out of trouble. But there you go, just a quick one for today. I hope you enjoyed my wheel disconnecting, and I will try and sort out the hardware so we can get some longer FIA races in the future. Thank you for watching, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you all again very soon. Thanks, bye!